welcome tonight to our celebration of our retirees. What a great group. We have 5 retirees who cumulatively have 156 years of service to Trinity-Pawling, which is pretty amazing. So we're thrilled to celebrate you tonight. And since we couldn't bring alumni, parents, and our greater community trustees to campus, we thought we'd celebrate you online with the community. So if those in the audience have a drink, I have some TP water here in a TP glass that we can toast this group to. Feel free to have your beverage of choice, and we will forward and toast this esteemed group. Just a couple of things. We have some surprise guests we're gonna try something new and bring in some surprise guests throughout the evening. So bear with us as you'll have some appearances, but feel free the chat is open, as is the Q&A. So if you have anything to share or want to talk directly to a panelist, please do so. If there's something that you want to share that you're not able to share tonight with this group of retirees, they're eager to communicate with you after this program and to share stories about your time together here on campus. So Bill, Headmaster Taylor, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You're in the center of my screen. I hope you're in the center of everyone else's screen too, so you can just share some thoughts about this great group we've got tonight.
Sure, well, welcome everybody, and special welcome to our very special guests, our retirees. Regan, Nick LaFontaine gave a wonderful chapel talk or chapel reflection this morning where he talked about the faculty being really the bedrock and the heart and soul of the school, and he was so correct. I mean, we're all here for the students, but the school isn't what it is without the faculty and without the gifts and talents that each faculty member brings to this community and brings to this community on behalf of the young people whom we teach. And so we're just so honored to be able to recognize this group who are ending their professional careers, but not for us to focus on an ending, but to celebrate just the remarkable contributions that each of you have given to this learning community, to this teaching community, to this residential community. It really is remarkable. And you know that I talk a lot about gifts and talents, and I do so deliberately because that really is the marrow of any community, and certainly in an educational community. And our job is to help young people discover their gifts and talents. And that is only made possible when they are surrounded by dedicated adults, caring adults, mentors, teachers, coaches, in whom they can see your gifts and talents shining. And each of you have contributed so many in different ways. Ned, certainly the creative leadership, and I mean that beyond just your skills as an art teacher, but your creative leadership as a mentor to so many faculty members and of course students, and your commitment to lifelong learning. Jennifer, my wife, has been one of your students this year in your watercolor class taught down in the village. Dave, your skills, certainly as a teacher, as a coach, which are drawing on the same skill sets, but your strengths as an administrator, 15 years of which I've been able to share that work with you. But the way that you've challenged young people to grow and how they've responded has been extraordinary. Billy, you like me have been here with 2 stints, and but sharing certainly your coaching strengths and gifts and talents in basketball, but then allowing all of us to see that real spark of passion and energy that we saw just today, we saw over the weekend with Mr. Blue and Gold, and seeing how the kids respond to that and respond to your energy. And Van, I've in the 6 years that we've worked together, I've marveled at how you can make some of the most complicated things that I can ever imagine seem graspable. And you do that for adults who need it, but you're able to do that for students who can take your teaching and just it launches them to a high level of their own personal understanding of computer science. And you do it in a way that never makes any of us feel inadequate around the field of technology, which is a true gift. And Debbie, your contributions to the school are significant in so many ways, but one thing that will always stand out to me is the contributions and the leadership you and the legacy you're leaving in this middle school. And you have been the advocate for the middle school kids. You've been their champion. You've been their cajoler. You have been their challenger, and you've taught us all at Trinity-Pawling what middle school kids need. But you've also been just a champion for the faculty families and parents, and really have modeled what it is to share your family's gifts and talents in a residential community. So we celebrate each of you tonight, and do so in a way that acknowledges with deep respect, deep gratitude, just the many legacies that you have created and left here in the lives of students and faculty who you've impacted, who you've mentored, who you've led, and whose lives as learners and as teachers and as colleagues are richer because of the contribution, the gifts that you have made. And so we look forward to toasting you this evening. And let me just say personally just how grateful I am for your service to this school, the commitment that you have made with your careers here, and the ways that you have made this school so incredibly stronger because of your contribution. So we salute each of you, and I will be the first to toast you. So thank you very much.
There we go.
So we have alums. I'll step in here. We have alums from the class of 48 all the way to present on here. So it truly is a testament to the difference you've made. And our first alum who's here to say something tonight, class of 86. And I promised him that I would get him on early because I think he has to go out to the playing field. So I'm going to promote to a panelist. So you're going to see Mo Vaughn, none other. Here we go, Mo. Famous Mo Vaughn's going to come on to toast specifically Dave Coratti and Debbie too, and share a story from. Hi, Mo. We're so excited to have
you. Look at this. This is great.
Mo.
Mr. Reade.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Maurice. I was never a Mo person. I'm Maurice.
I know. Congratulations to all of you. What can I say? First, I'm going to say, Mr. Reade, you really didn't beat us in softball that much as you did as the faculty. I don't think we ever beat you guys at all, Congratulations to all of you. Mr. Metcalf, Mr. Casson, Headmaster Taylor, I know we've never met, but to all of you, you bring so many great things to the school. I always say that the best years of my life were at Trinity-Pawling. My 4 years there got me ready to go to college. I think that propelled me as an athlete and as a human being. And all the things happened. And I think the basis was created there. Mr. and Mrs. Coratti, you know what you all did, what you did for me on all levels. Being in your, in the apartment, colonnade, just taking care of me. And I really, really appreciate that tremendously as I walk through my everyday life. We all know, my relationship with Mr. Hubbard. But Mr. Coratti, you were the next guy in line. you were the guy that always kept me straight, stayed sharp, gave me the right information. You were my baseball coach, my football coach. You coached my roommate Stu McNelly in the wrestling side. I always marveled at the fact of your coaching style, but you were just smart also coming out of Trinity College. You, the intellect, and all the things that you knew about on the education side, and as long as and also after football games, you know, the coaches would take us in the basketball court and literally beat us up, you know, as we were playing against them. And he was tough as nails then, and I'm just very, very appreciative. I think the testament.
My fadeaway.
I think that the testament, you know, Mr. Coratti, is this: you have affected many men. Some gone on to Division I scholarships, but more importantly, some have gone to the armed forces and been to West Point. They've been to the Naval Academy. You've just been a pillar of strength to all of us. And for me, I look at myself now at 53 years old, and I know you're coming down here, and I'm great, and I'm gonna see you. I guess you turn back and you look at, what do we all turn into? What do we all become? And now I'm a coach of young people, trying to teach them the same things that you all as faculty members brought to me as a young man, and trying to reflect those same things and those same values on them. So I just want to say congratulations, Ms. Coratti, thank you. All of you, congratulations, Mr. Reade. Good luck to you, and a job well done.
Thanks, Mo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mo. And I just want to say, you know, you're so reflective of what this was all about for me, because I taught you in Algebra 2, I coached you, and as you said, football and baseball, and you were on my dorm, and watching you grow in those years into the great young man you are right now is unbelievable. It's what it's all about.
Thank you. Well, you did it, and we appreciate it. All of us appreciate it. And as you get older, you try to turn back and, you know, think about where it all came from. And for me, the school, Trinity-Pawling, all of you were key cogs in my success, and I will always state that everywhere I go.
Thank you, Mo.
All right.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Mo.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh,
See you down in Florida.
I see you in Florida.
Definitely.
Enjoy. Good to see you.
Thank you for your time, Mo. We appreciate you giving us some
All right,
time.
anything you need, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Mo.
Bye-bye.
That was awesome, Regan. Thank you.
Well, gosh, it's so nice of him to be online, and we're so thrilled. We have the Mo Vaughn baseball field here on campus. That was put in, I think, right before Coach LaFontaine and I arrived, and
Yep.
it's been a game changer for us. And that and Karate Field, we're thrilled by that. While Mo was talking, we got a message from the Boomers. Doug Boomer down in Atlanta. I'm going to wave to you. I think we might all wave. The Boomers are a great faculty couple that were on campus. Kylan and Doug. Kylan with the international students did a great job. And Doug, I remember you making violins, and you were my husband's math mentor. So it's good to, thanks for reaching out and saying congratulations. We miss you on campus. I'm gonna pull up our next guest now. We have a faculty member who we're gonna pull up here, who's gonna say a few words to Van. And this member has known Van, I think, for most of Van's life. So I'm gonna pull up Slade Mead here. Slade should be joining us now with his cat. Here we go. Hi, Slade, and your cat.
Hello. Boy, talk about a tough act to follow. Mo Vaughn. Okay, let me pull myself back together here. I thought this was going to be a roast. I didn't realize it was a toast. So maybe my comments might not be really appropriate. But Van, a dark secret here. We've known each other for 47 years. which I kind of did the math, but we met in 1976. He was a sophomore and I was a freshman at Taft. And he's one of those people that he comes into my life and then he leaves, then he comes back in and he leaves and he comes back in. And while we were at Taft, he was in a different group. He was very academic oriented in science and theater. And let's just say I wasn't. But I did find out a couple interesting things because the statute of limitations are up. So it is okay to let the world know that Van Metcalf was this Taft student who pulled the prank of hiding every toilet seat on campus and somehow making them mysteriously disappear. It's just a marvelous prank. And he told me about that many, many years later after the statute of limitations. But we got reunited again 14 years ago here at Trinity-Pawling. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know Van as an adult. And we have so much in common. He lives in the town where I grew up, Norfolk, Connecticut. In fact, Shirley and their house is literally next door to my mom's old house. We also had the privilege, just serendipity, that Dave Coratti let Van be my lunch partner in Scully for 5, 6, 7 years. And going to lunch with Van every day was fun because he has so many interesting things about him. And one of the things we share, and this is another sort of dirty secret, is we both have a secret love, and that is Excel. The problem is Van's much better at it than I am. But we worked on a project, Van, probably 10 years ago, where we wrote a presidential election simulator using Excel. And we tried it out on Hoffman in my class. And this is the honest truth. The two candidates the kids picked were Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And I remember saying something like, okay, well, this will never happen, but sure, we'll simulate it. And Trump won the election. He took Iowa, as I recall, well after midnight on election day. And I remember saying to Van, man, we really screwed up that simulator because, I mean, it just gave us this wild result. But that's sort of the method of Van's madness. He had a simulator that actually had Trump beating Hillary Clinton before Trump was even a real candidate. Now, I am going to wrap up with one dark, dirty secret about Van. And I say this as the head of the college counseling, because in many ways, I've been a very evil person in Van's life, because Van absolutely abhors writing teacher recommendations. I think he would prefer root canal without Novocaine to having to write a teacher recommendation. And the problem I had from my side of the desk is, Van, you write very, very well. As painful as it is, you're a very good writer. And the proof is in the pudding. Some of your computer lads, they've gone to RPI, WPI, Purdue, Carnegie Mellon, Drexel, Illinois, which has one of the best computer programs in the country, Santa Clara. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You're a very good computer teacher, and your letters helped get these kids into some very impressive computer programs, schools. So I would like to toast you, Van. You're going to be missed. Your letter writing skills are actually going to be missed, as crazy as that may sound. But here's to Shirley and you. I wish you a wonderful retirement, and I'm very jealous of your upcoming road trip in your new Winnebago. So cheers. Thanks, Regan.
Thank you, Slade. All false.
Cheers, man. Well, we're talking about redoing some bathrooms here in the dorms, and if we, need some toilet seats, we know where to find those now. Get some Taft toilet seats that we can use here.
They're on the roof of the HDT elevator, I believe, right, man?
No.
Perfect.
He confessed this crime to me at lunch one day, because this was like this was like solving the greatest criminal crime of all time. He's like,
No, it was not me. It was not me.
Well, Van, on another note, I know I just heard from Mr. Tweed today that Alex Tweed is doing computer engineering at University of Illinois, speaking of great colleges. So wanted to share that with the group. And Mr. Tweed, if you're on here, congrats to Alex. That's quite an honor there. All right, we're gonna go to our next surprise guest, but thank you, Slade, for joining us here. This was fun stories. Van. I'm going to pull on someone who worked under or Mr. Reade taught closely. Bruce Knickerbocker, I'm going to pull you up here. Bruce is class of 2002. We're thrilled to have you on here. Bruce, can you hear it? We might have to try this again. I think Bruce came and went. All right, we'll come back to Bruce. Oh, here's Bruce. Hi, Bruce!
Sorry, technical difficulties. It's the world of IT and hospital life. So.
No, well, we're glad you're here from a hospital. So I'll let you share what you're doing, and then you can toast Mr. Reade for us.
Yeah, well, so excuse my IT problems there. I'm at work tonight, working at Vassar Hospital. But I appreciate you inviting me on to speak, on behalf of Mr. Reade. I want to first say congratulations to everybody. I think with the exception of maybe one of our faculty, I had the opportunity to be a student under all of you, and everyone has had a great impact on my life, who I become, and inspiring me to be a father, a man, a nurse, a caretaker, trying to be the best person I can. And certainly Trinity-Pawling stands out as the most important, the most special time in my life. My college career wasn't traditional. I ended up in nursing and took a non-traditional university kind of path to that. But in that process of getting at the concepts and the leadership tools that I gained at Trinity-Pawling and the effort system really instilled in me the concepts of wanting to help. And the more you put into, the more energy, the more you commit yourself, the greater you can achieve. And really the essence of that came from a lot of the growth I had under Mr. Reade. I wasn't thrilled about going to Trinity-Pawling the very first day. The idea of an all-boys school overwhelmed me, I guess you could say, but I quickly found a new family and completely forgot about that. And my class of 2002, I think we all felt the Reades were very, very special to all of us. We dedicated our yearbook to you. You and Boots were just our parents away from home. Chris Chipley, Jeff Fitzgerald, Cam Church, all of us on your squash team, on third soccer as freshmen, in Star Dorm as sophomores. We grew under your tutelage, and for me personally, whether it was in our class or on the squash court, I think you had a very special place in my life with my family dynamics and my parents being separated. You and Maria gave me a real sense of base and solidity in my life that gave me the ability to grow up into the adult I became. I think without you, I would have really been kind of a let loose, and it turned me into a really dedicated, caring person because of the care and love you gave us as students. My most fond memory I have to share, because I don't know, I hope you remember it, Ned. It was my sophomore year, and I think the ice had just started to form over the pond, and it was the day before, or the day we were going home for Christmas break. And I hope you recall Chris Chipley and I and Jeff and Cam all jumping into the pond through the ice. And I hope you caught a picture of it, or you have a picture of it in your mind, because I remember you laughing at us and just calling us crazy and, support, whether it was support.
Yeah, you guys had gone in every month, September, October, November, and we just turned into December. And I thought, you guys, you want to keep the streak going.
Yeah.
It was right after candlelight, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, it was the night after. It was the morning after candlelight.
Yeah. Oh.
So, with the seriousness aside, I remember memories like that too. They're just bring the fun to what creates, a family. And
Thank you.
I've had the opportunity to keep in touch with you year after year. Unfortunately, we haven't seen each other in a little while because of COVID and such. And I live fairly close to campus, so it was easy. But I hope that these times don't let you get too far away from us from campus. You keep in touch. I can't say enough how much I thank both you and Maria for everything you did for me, my family, and my brother. Kenny just arrived in New York this morning, actually, from Asia. Yeah, he'll be home for a little bit. So we'll have to, when he's in the States, we'll have to catch up. I couldn't have been a prefect without you. I couldn't have had the friends and the family that I had at Trinity-Pawling without you. So thank you, and just a styrofoam cup of water from Vassar.
Thank you very much.
To you, Mr. Reade.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in from the hospital, Bruce. Gosh, and thank you for your service. We recognize that this has not been an easy year to be a nurse, and I'm having an allergy attack right now, so my apologies. But
I know CPR.
You do. I might have you. You're not too far away. No, but thank you for dialing
Bruce.
in. Appreciate it. All right, next we're going to turn to two special guests who are here to say hello to Mr. Casson, Billy Casson. We have two co-workers of yours, Jay and Rachel Kellogg, are coming on right now, who are not only Billy,
Sorry about that.
We're grasping at straws, aren't we?
We're not grasping at stars. No,
I'm all set.
Not only are they your coworkers, but your neighbors too. So I think they should be. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
All right.
Good.
Make your computer easier to use.
Do I have to be there for this?
We can come next door.
Sorry. I don't know what that was.
That way, the voice. It's just telling you to make your computer easy.
Okay.
So we're getting some feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but
Bruce, you gotta log out. Bruce?
Oh, here we go. I got you, Bruce. There you go. You're all good. Okay.
Good.
You're good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start doing a little bit. We're gonna go more roast than toast. As many of you know, Billy Casson is a man of many hats. He was in years past a math teacher where he taught his gazintas. And those of you that don't know what the gazintas are, that's where 5 goes into 15, 4 gazintas 12. I mean, I think he was the one that came up with this idea. He's been an athletic director in which sometimes he was also the trainer and had to tape up some of his players. He's been an admissions director and a coach to so many young men throughout the years, and including faculty, helping us and guiding us through life. He's also a man who acclimates to his surroundings, from going to the beach to the hood of Milford, Connecticut. And the only time that he's really struggled in life was when he went to our home in upstate New York. And those of you that don't know, we have a house up in Brookfield, New York, near Colgate, and we're really in the woods. So he really, for the weekend, had to learn how to be a redneck. And I'll turn this over to Jay to tell the story.
So we tried to teach Billy how to shoot bow, and that was pretty successful. He's fairly good with a shotgun. We went out, we do these things called bow shoots in central New York, which is kind of like playing golf. You keep score, you walk through the woods, there's 3D targets set up, and you shoot and you keep score. So the better you shoot, the more points you get. And Billy was pretty good at that. But the one thing that he wasn't great at was his outfit. In Central New York, outfits for these things really include blue jeans, work boots, sweatshirts, or flannels. Billy was more of a polo guy with his famous footwear, socks, and Tevas. Rachel's going to model those. So Billy, when he walks through the woods with his socks and Tevas on, the Central New Yorkers, they kind of looked him up and down, so to say. So, I mean, he'll probably fit in well in Florida. He's probably going to have to get some wife beaters, not let Kathy launder them, get on his lawnmower, drive around. But he'll slap on those Tevas and socks, and he'll fit in wherever he is. He's a wonderful person, a great coach, a great friend, and the people at TP are going to miss him.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Here's to all of you.
In my defense, I had to have some
Yes.
protection from the bugs. That's why I wore the socks.
Yeah, you didn't get bit on the ankles, that's for sure. Congratulations,
guys.
Billy. We'll miss you. We love you.
Love you too, guys.
Right, and Slade's thank you, Jay and Rachel. We're thrilled to have you on to toast Billy and the rest of the group. So I know you're going to miss everyone. And speaking of coaching, we have another coach coming on to toast the karate. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, Jay and Rachel. Thank you for being here tonight. And we're going to bring in Stu McNally, who I think the Karates know really well from their time on dorm and their time coaching both wrestling and football. And Stu is not only a member of the class of '86, but a current parent. So we'll probably see you soon as Mike graduates another week. Hi, Stu. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, how are you? Hey,
Hi.
Mr. Coratti, how are you?
So how you doing? Thanks
Good.
for coming.
So great story about Mrs. Coratti. I guess as we got older, she's like, you need to stop calling me Mrs. Coratti. You can call me Jen now. And I said to her, I go, that word will never come out of my mouth when I'm addressing you. The amount of respect that I have for you and the love that I have for you and your husband is just, it's too much for me to go there and put myself on equal. So you always be Mrs. Coratti to me. As you can see, my roommate and I are the only two roommates on here. So there was a lot of help that was needed in that room. Mo and I lived together for 4 years. We were prefects and we lived together. Mr. Smith tried to split that up and instead he gave us Johnson. I think most success really is the fact that he had me as a roommate, but we'll leave that for another discussion. But Mrs. Coratti, you were, and I know I'm speaking for a lot of young men that went to Trinity-Pawling, you were our mom away from home. Your unconditional love for us, you're caring for us, you're yelling at me at the football game, or you're yelling at me when I'm on the wrestling mat, or my dorm mother when Mo and I were in Dunbar. I mean, the list goes on and on. You were an integral part of my life. What Mo said was those are the 4 best years of our lives. We got to do it together and we did a lot of it with you and your husband. It was almost like you were unshakable. I mean, Mo had, Coach Coratti for football and baseball. I had him for football and wrestling. I had him for AP Modern European History. You all have been you showed us the right way to do it. You guys were, as a couple, I'd like to think I tried to emulate with my wife, what you all have. And again, I'm indebted to you forever. My situation before I got to TP was a little crazy. And when I got there, I found people that had confidence in me before I had confidence in myself. And your love for me was just, I remember it always. So thank you so much for everything. I'm sorry that you had to deal with the 35 years later, to the week, you got rid of me. And then next week you're getting rid of my knucklehead. So to say that this year may have been tough, but what a blessing I feel so blessed that he got to share a year with you all and especially your last year, just because I talk so much about you and Mr. Coratti and heck, Mr. Reade, Mr. Taylor, all my experiences at TP. And I just love you to death, and thank you so much for everything.
Well, Stu, you and Maurice were very easy to love. And you just made our family bigger. You embraced our kids, you know, we embraced your families, you embraced us, and it was really just one big experience for all of us that I think we all remember, and we have wonderful memories of it, and we'll never forget. I think those were years that we will never, ever forget. So we thank you too, because even though we're the teachers and the adults, we learn from the kids, and you'd be amazed at what we learn from you guys. Just, you know, getting to know each other and connections and things like that. We learn a lot from all of you too. So
Thank you.
we owe you a debt of gratitude also. So thank you.
As I said to most, Stu, you know, watching you grow on the field, on the mat, in the dorm, and then in the classroom, it makes it, again, all worthwhile and what it's all about.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it. And we're looking to move to Florida too, so you're not getting rid of us that easy.
Oh,
All right, great. Great reunion.
Yeah,
Thank you, Stu.
you're welcome.
We're looking forward to seeing you soon.
See me on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday.
Got to beat Salisbury.
Oh gosh, yes. Let's go. Go TP. So here we go. Speaking of sports, we have one of your former players, Ned. JD Cregan's on. I'm going to pull him on as a panelist right now. JD is going to be joining us in just a minute. Class of '82. So we're thrilled to have JD coming in. I think you're here somewhere. JD played squash for you, is that right, Ned?
Yeah. JD, get one of your kids to log you on.
He was here.
Is that coming in?
I think he went to an esteemed going.
I think he went to an esteemed institution. Didn't he, Ned, after here?
Yeah, really.
I went to Dave's college. Can you hear me?
That's right. That's what I
I
mean.
hear you. Now you got to get the video going.
Oh, the video. Should I click on it maybe?
No, down in the lower left.
I say start video.
Yeah, try it.
How's that? It's a little dark, right?
Yeah, exactly. At least
You're
we see
on.
it. Yeah, put
I
the
don't
light
know
on
why
you,
that's not light enough, but is that okay though?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. And Colleen for reaching out yesterday, and all of her colleagues for lining this up, and for all you great teachers, taught us all such great lifelong lessons. It's hard to speak for a minute or two and isolate an incident, but I'll just speak for 2 minutes on Ned, who was not my academic teacher at Trinity-Pawling. He was my sports coach, and it meant so much to me. I learned so many lessons through that experience. I was not into art or taking any art courses at that time. Ironically, I played squash, and Ned watched hundreds of hours of squash matches, practices, and tutored us all along the way. And I appreciated that. But now that Ned's retired, I've actually discovered what his talents were, and that's art. And I've discovered that through social media. And it's very impressive to see what he's done and what he's doing and offering classes online. So it comes in full circle. You know, when you're a student, you appreciate it, but you don't really understand the whole picture. And it's great for me to see this whole thing come in full circle. My one little story, as you know, Ned has great patience. I don't think I've ever seen him get angry. And that's through a lot of matches of competition and practices and people goofing off. He's stern and he's very fair, as you all know, but I've never really seen him get angry. And I did try his patience once by accident. We had a match on a Saturday at Brooklyn Poly Prep School. And I signed up for the Saturday night pass, and I got checked out and checked off by the administration, which is a big deal when you're a student, of course. And I was to spend the night in Brooklyn with my very good friend, Larry Sconzo. So we went down to the match. We played Brooklyn Poly Prep. After the match, my friend Larry was there and we went back. He lived all the way across Brooklyn to his apartment and then out to the park and out for pasta and things like that. Several hours later, Larry had a message on his phone from Ned Reade. Ned and the team were still in the parking lot and were headed over to White Castle Burgers because they couldn't drive the van because I had the key to the van in my pocket. So my friend Larry Sconzo drove me across Brooklyn back to Brooklyn Poly Prep / White Burger. And I handed the keys over to Ned with incredible trepidation. And lo and behold, Ned is such a nice guy. You know, of course, he needled me for the next, not that year, but every time I see him, which was always fun, he'll needle me on that. But White Castle and the keys to the van was an incident all on me, and he handled it like you couldn't believe. So a lot of lessons throughout life you learn at your school. You guys are great, but that's just a little snippet. I wanted to say hello to Maria. I haven't seen your garden for a while, but I always enjoyed going up to see your garden in Trinity-Pawling. And Ned, I wish you all the best with the painting, and maybe I'll sign up for one of your online courses. And I look forward to keeping in touch. Thank you, everybody, for including me today, and good luck to y'all.
Thank you, JD. Just keep checking your pockets, see you got those keys in there.
Oh,
That was
man.
before cell phones, Dave. There's no.
Correct. No cell phones back then, so it was several hours.
Well, thank you. You guys, we always had a lot of good fun. Our road trips were pretty memorable, and we all survived. That was great. Of course, you were the #1 player in New England and wore the Trinity-Pawling shirt. And I was very proud of you and your teammates. We had a great season. So thank you, JD.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ned.
Thanks, JD. What a great story, and what great memories I'm sure to share. That's great. Thanks for spending some time with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And it's great. We're next we're going to go to the class of 2017. We have a panelist coming on here, which here I'm going to put who Van Metcalf taught here. Bo Hayutin, you're going to join us for 2017 and share some stories about your teacher, Van. Hi, Bo. It's good to see you. Are you coming to us from Colorado?
I'm actually at Purdue right now.
Oh, great. Indiana.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Hi, Mr. Metcalf. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Bo?
I'm doing great. I wrote a little something I want to read to you.
That's our problem.
As a junior coming to TP, I had a lot of interest in computer programming, but no knowledge or experience whatsoever. Luckily, I heard about a class called Alice, which was taught by Mr. Metcalf. In this class, there are about 8 kids that had no programming experience. Thankfully for my class, we had a teacher that was very patient, knowledgeable, and wholeheartedly wanted all his students to succeed. Looking back on this class makes me think of the insane amount of patience Mr. Metcalf displayed by explaining the most simple coding algorithms to me and my classmates continuously. If you don't know about coding, it's a meticulous activity that has many special rules. For example, I probably had on average 3 problems in my code per class, but they were all because of missing semicolons. Luckily for me, my skills in coding began to improve, so I decided to take AP Computer Science with Mr. Metcalf for my senior year. In this class, there are 3 students, Jay and Will Stoney, if you guys remember them. Those are the other 2 students in that class. And I was by far the least skilled in programming, but Mr. Metcalf identified this, and he would always teach me and the other kids at a normal pace. And then he would come after class to catch me up with the rest of the group. Most days I would come to Mr. Metcalf, not only after class, but after the school day as well. In these meetings, we would work on classwork as well as 2 independent studies together. With Mr. Metcalf's support, I managed to learn how to recover deleted files using a software called Trinity-Kit 3.0. We also made a software that connected to hardware. I forget what it's called. I think it was a photon device. And that was connected to the Fluid 3 hydronic heaters And when the gas levels would get too low, it would send a text to the maintenance crew. Mr. Metcalf also made himself available and took many extra steps to ensure I was getting the best education possible. He spent countless hours with me, teaching me and perfecting my programming skills. Mr. Metcalf taught me so much, not only in technology, but about life and how to be a kind person. I'm so thankful for Mr. Metcalf and the education you provide me with. Trinity-Pawling will miss having you, Mr. Metcalf, but surely you deserve this retirement. And I wish you and your family the best. Thank you for everything you've done for me and the community. You really, really were great to me, and I'll never forget you and your little office and your little classroom. It was really good for me, and thank you so much.
Wow.
Hey,
Thank you,
Mr.
Bo.
Mead, what's up? And also, today's my birthday, so I already drank this, but I have more drinks in the kitchen, so I'll drink those for you later.
Hey, birthday, Bo.
Thank you,
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Bo.
I really hope to come see you guys soon. I've missed you all dearly. So thank you for having me on here, and I hope to see you all soon.
Well, and
Great.
Bo, before you go, I want to share, you shared some photos in advance.
did,
so
yes.
I'm going to pull those up so that
Please
we can all see.
These are from way back, Mr. Metcalf.
Here we go,
Oh, boy.
Mr. Metcalf. So, and here are the other gentlemen you spoke about, Will Estany and Jay Wynn. So what a great photo from 2017 graduation.
Sure was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait to catch up with you, Bo.
What's that?
Can't wait to catch up with you. Hear
Yeah.
what you're doing now.
Yeah, right. You want me to tell you what I'm doing now?
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna go home to Denver, and I'm gonna work for my dad's company. It's a property development company. I actually came to Purdue as a cybersecurity major, and I switched into construction management and entrepreneurship. So I got 2 of those pretty quickly, and I've loved it. I've had 3 different internships, all in construction, but they were awesome. I'm gonna get my real estate license this summer. I don't know. That's
Great.
what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's great.
Well
Right.
done.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, happy birthday, Bo. Good
Thank
to
you,
see
Mr. Mead.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday,
Right.
Bo. Thanks for joining us.
Birthday.
Always.
Thank you.
Now I'm looking for Truth Harris, who was going to say a few words about Mr. Casson. So Truth, ping me if you're on. And in the meantime, I'm going to go on. We have another special guest here, a fellow colleague, Roberta Liedl, is going to speak about Debbie and also is very close to Van as well. Roberta, there you are. Hi, Roberta.
everybody.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Well, first, this whole panel, I'm like sad to see them go, happy for what their new adventures are. But I'm here to talk about my colleague, my friend, my big sister, Debbie, who we've had she's taught me so much. And I don't know. I hope she doesn't block me once they leave and head to Florida, her and Dave, because I'm sure I'm going to need a lot of therapy and I'm going to have a lot of questions. But I want to talk about the first 5 years that I was at Trinity-Pawling. I didn't really know Debbie very much. She kind of was in the middle school, and I worked in the, what is now the Center for Learning Achievement. And the only thing I knew about Debbie Coratti is I would have these kids running after me saying, Mrs. Coratti, and they would mistaken me for Debbie. And I'm still getting that where I get called Mrs. Coratti frequently from parents or for students. But we kind of came across paths from a few students, and I realized that she probably in a past life was this amazing therapist, because she had the empathy and the compassion for her students that only comes with somebody who has the heart of a teacher. So she connected to them. She related to them. She used her own stories to help them de-escalate. I mean, they'd be in tears over something that happened, and she'd be like, sit down in that big old comfy chair in her office. They'd sink into it, so they were like 4 inches shorter. And she would just have these amazing conversations with them, and you could watch them exhale. And so I would start to utilize her as an honorary CLA student, a teacher, because I would have somebody who would just need some extra help. And we had a few students who she just helped coach through some things. And Debbie, don't worry, I'm going to make sure I laminate a copy of The Lottery by Shirley Jackson for you, so you can read it in Florida. She would get so mad because we'd read these short stories and she's like, these are awful. Where is the happy endings? And I'm like, short stories don't end like that. So yeah, Deb, I can even mail you a copy of The Lottery, the 1994 movie version. If you're really on it, I know how much you love it.
Oh boy.
But she would connect to these boys, and I would watch them. She would, they would crack open their heart. They would start to try things. They would, she brought something to the middle school that's going to be hard to replace, because these kids need that mothering figure. Stu said that you were our mom, and I truly believe that those feminine qualities, along with the masculine qualities, make an amazing human being, and you modeled those for them, and you applied them. And I can't imagine how many students over these 40 years that you guys have been on this campus, that you've touched their lives, that you've, I'm trying to think of some other funny stories. We've had so many moments. I think I'm going to do one though, just because it overlaps into Dave. And I meant to I have a gift for you, Dave, but I would text Debbie, and sometimes when things were not going so well or something, sometimes it was just that moment of encouragement. So I would text her, and I think it was over a break, and they were in Florida, and I would say, "Good morning, sunshine." And of course, D Coratti and D Coratti. And it went out to Dave, and Dave goes, "Good morning to you, sunshine." So ever since then, Dave and I have a laugh. I have a pillow that says "Good morning, sunshine." I might have to mail that to Florida with you, but all of you have impacted my life. But Debbie and Dave, I'm not sure how I'm going to survive next year without you here, but hopefully you're not going to block me. So.
I promise I will not. I promise.
But so cheers, and enjoy. Hopefully, your adventures. My Airbnb is always open. Over the garage. Absolutely. Just the keys under the mat. Come on in.
Thanks, Roberta.
Thank you. And I've never been a person who learns a lot through books and sitting in a classroom and being in school. It wasn't really my thing, but I do learn. I'm a good listener, and I listen to what people have to say, and learn through that. And I've definitely learned a lot from you, just through our conversations, our therapy sessions, but just by listening. And it's truly taught me more than I ever could have learned, going to school and things like that, because a lot of them have been life skills and have made me a better person too. So I thank you also for everything.
Well, you two, emulate what community is for me here, especially since I don't live on campus. I look at the two of you, and you model it every day, even walking down the, around the quad, holding hands. So these kids have an amazing model. So
thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Roberta. We're excited to have you as the Director of Teaching and Learning next year. So thanks, Roberta. We found Truth. So we're gonna pipe Truth in here. We have two more special guests, Truth being one of them. So Truth, I'm gonna pull you up, and we're gonna hear a few words from you about Mr. Casson.
Hey. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Truth.
Hi, Truth.
Truth.
Hi.
We're glad to see you. Truth is class of 2020. So Truth, you hold a special place here.
Yeah. I'm kind of in a new look from the last time you guys seen me, probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recognize you.
Well, Coach Casson, I just want to start off by saying that I love you. You've done so much for me. I can't thank you enough. Yeah, you just been somebody that I've always been comfortable to talk to. Even if it's with basketball, without basketball. I just thank you a lot. A story I have that I'll never forget, which is like funny to me, is I remember my junior year, it was like our first scrimmage, and Mike Koch threw me an alley-oop and I missed it. And Mike Koch threw the alley-oop and I came to the timeout, I didn't think nothing of it. And I just looked at you and your face was red and your tie was off your shirt. And you just like, don't you ever do nothing like that again in your life. And you're screaming. And I was like, dang, this dude is somebody not to mess with.
But you never listened.
But half of the times sometimes I made it. Most of the time I made it.
Yeah, that's right. You never listened.
But yeah, I just can't thank you enough. You're a special guy, and I really appreciate you. And I couldn't thank you more. Couldn't thank you enough. I just couldn't thank you enough. That's all I could really say is thank you for everything.
True. Thanks so much, man. Retiring and coaching so many years. Coach Coratti knows it. Ned certainly knows it. You have so many teams and so many players, and they bond in. And sometimes you hear about players and you try to go through your Rolodex about what year, what circumstance, who played on that team. And the crew that we had together for 2 years, where you were undoubtedly the leader, has to rank in my 40 years of being a head coach. It's got to be one of the top teams I've ever coached. Forget the wins, when we had some success, but just to be in with you guys every day in the gym, it was so special, and you guys bonded so well. And it was you were the leader. You were the one that brought it together. I mean, you were the one that decided to come, and you were the one that decided to make your mark here, which will always be here. And I'm just so happy and proud of you, and whatever the next step is. And we're together. I may be your coach, you may be my player, but you know what? In some ways we're brothers, and we'll always be together. And come visit me. And I don't know if you're still being recruited by Southwest Florida, but if you are and you go there, you're going to have cookies when you want them, and you're going to have me in the stands critiquing your game. So, let me know where you end up, and thank you, Truth, man. I love you, and thank you so much for being here.
Most definitely. I love you too, and your family forever.
Yeah, give my best to mom and dad, please.
Most definitely.
We miss seeing you dunk, Truth. I have to say, that was seeing my kids in their eyes when they watched you dunk. It was a special moment, or special moments. It happened more than once, so you certainly missed that. But thank you, and we're gonna miss Mrs. Casson's cookies. I think I speak for everyone when I say
Most
that.
Most definitely.
Very nice treat at the end of the game. Yeah. Thanks, Truth.
Thank you for having me.
Truth.
All right, we're for our last alumni guest here, we're going to pull on someone you know well, Dave. Chucky Akobe, class of '96, is going to join us. And Chucky is our only panelist who's the holder of a Super Bowl ring, right? Hey, Chucky.
Hello, everybody.
It's
Hello,
good
everybody.
to see you.
See everyone. Yeah, I'm really actually feeling pretty excited to be here. Just listening to all the stories about everyone. It's really been great. I want to first talk about Mr. Reade. That's what
Chuck, you gotta be a little louder.
I want to first talk about you, Mr. Reade.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want to talk about first, because I lived on with the Reades for 2 out of 4 years. And I always felt like I would imagine that most people don't fully appreciate the job a door parent does. I mean, for me, there's two very invaluable things I learned from living with the Reeds. And when you hear this, I think you'll understand what I mean by invaluable. It's like things that you can't really quantify. First, I learned how to express myself, whether that be intellectually or creatively. You know, these are the things that maybe you guys don't always know that students are picking up, just kind of watching you every day. But, you know, Mr. Reade, especially, you know, you showed all of us at TP that we all have something unique to offer to the world. We're all able to create something beautiful that's never existed before and bring it to life. And I really took that lesson from watching you specifically. And I just did it on the football field instead of on a canvas. But that's where that lesson really came from for me. And, you know, like, I just don't think people appreciate the role that a dorm parent plays, you know, but I realized that one of their unwritten jobs is to teach young boys how to take care of ourselves. I mean, taking care of yourself and taking care of your home. So I'm sure you can see what I mean by invaluable lessons. Now, Mrs. Reade, you know, what I really gained from my experience living with her is caring for yourself and carrying yourself with self-respect, and express that every day in how you treat other people. And these are the type of things that I can't really put a number. I don't have a range for this lesson, but it's just as valuable as anything else. And so for that, I just want to express my gratitude in that I probably wouldn't have been able to tie my tie right or feed myself if I didn't live with you guys during those years. So I appreciate that. And Mr. and Mrs. Coratti, I mean, what can I say? You know, Mo Vaughn pretty much covered the coaching side and what you meant to all of us who've gone on to play after high school. And I'm sure you've heard it all before. You know, you were a father figure to me, and how much success after high school I owe to you. That's 100% true. But I don't want to bore you with the same old story from everyone else. It's true, and I appreciate it, but it's just so much deeper than that. Like for me, since I graduated from TP, I realized like how precious time really is. Like we all only have so much time on this planet. Like we're a limited amount of sand in our hourglass, metaphorically. 40 years, that's a commitment. I mean, just think about it. When you guys showed up at TP in the early 80s to do a job, I imagine you could have never foreseen the adventure you're about to go on and that would last this long. And, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that going back to that time, you know, in the early 80s, you were the right people for the job. But I don't know if you can really understand how impactful your contributions would be, not only to TP as an institution, but the mark your commitment to your responsibilities would leave on all of us for generations to come. I mean, think about it. Families send their most prized possession, their flesh and blood. They send you their children and entrust you with their legacy and ask you to show them how to be a person of high quality, a more than functional member of society, and learn what it means to be successful in all areas of life. I mean, there's a lot for us to all learn when we first come in as children in order for TP to meet that objective, in order for the Corattis and the Reeds and everyone else that contributes, in order for you to meet that objective, there's a lot you've got to instill in us. It's a lot. We didn't know what we didn't know back then, you know, but the thing is whether it was laying into me and assigning me these work hours, humbling me when I thought I was bigger than I was, and making sure that no matter how big my goal or my task was, instilled in me what it means to maintain our integrity and keep our promise no matter what the necessary sacrifice or commitment is to do so. Yeah, I learned all of that from Mr. Coratti. It's not from really something he told me, but from just living his life the way he had to this point right now. I mean, you guys came to TP 40 years ago and made a promise to countless families to take responsibility for and watch over their sons, to provide whichever is needed, whether it's tough love or lecture, and to serve as role models for what it means to be good people. And for 40 years, you kept that promise. And I know I can confidently speak for the class of 1996, Manny Dela Cruz, Dave Wills, Adam Marino, Mike Appaluccio, T.C. Romaine, Chuck Williams, and too many more to name, but I know I can speak for everybody when I say we're grateful. We're blessed to have had you guys play the role that you did in our respective journeys. Thank you. I mean, that's a lot of sand in that hourglass that you gave to us. Whatever's left in the hourglass, that's for you. It's yours. Enjoy every moment of this next chapter. And I pray for you and for the entire family that this next chapter feels like heaven on earth. I can't think of anyone else who deserves it more. So cheers to the Corattis and Dave Coratti, the legacy maker. Cheers.
Thanks, Chucky. And as you know, your freshman year, I had to make that promise to your mom many times when she came up to visit me.
Yeah, I heard all about that over the years. I definitely heard all about that.
But no, you're again an example of the growth that you made was ridiculous, and the place that you wound up and are at now, again, makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really appreciative that I had the experiences I had with all of you guys, with Boots, with Reade, everyone. Like, I'm just grateful for having that experience and being connected to all the great things that TP stands for. So, thank you.
Chucky, and our memories of your mom are very strong too. It doesn't work if we don't have the parents helping us help the kids, and your mom was very, very special.
I'll make sure I pass that on for sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
do. Yeah.
Thank you.
That Chucky.
You definitely tell Elsie I said hi.
Sure, for sure, man. So, I hope you guys just enjoy it. I hope every day is just like your birthday from here forward.
Thanks, Chucky.
Thank you, Chucky.
You guys just enjoy this next chapter, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chucky. So well said.
Right.
Very well said. I'll turn it over to Bill, but thank you for everyone who joined us tonight to send off this great group. And we're getting lots of comments and just cheers to all of you and happiness ahead on your journeys. So Bill, I'll turn it over to you, but thank you for spending your time with us, and we're excited to toast you. You're here.
Well, thank you to all the guest toasters this evening. So wonderful to have you be part of this celebration. You know, Robert Frost said, you know, I'm not a teacher, but I'm an awakener. And, you know, I've read that, heard that, and, you know, but teachers, we view ourselves as teachers or coaches. And we do this each day because we're committed to kids. But tonight, what's so special is to learn and hear how these 5 teachers really were true awakeners, and the impact that you've made on the lives of people and the legacy that you've left in their lives and in the lives of so many others, and on the life of this institution. You have been awakeners, and we are richer, better, stronger, wiser as a result. So I want to thank you again, and we're just so proud to have this time together. And as I said, the school is stronger as a result, but lives, most importantly, are richer as a result. So thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.